Hello everyone, welcome back to IAS Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion session. In today's session, we will be discussing a very important topic, that is Bihar electoral rolls. Okay, this has been the contentious news in the last 15 to 20 days. It has been on the first page of every newspaper, be it the Hindu, Indian Express, etc., etc. So we'll understand why are the Bihar electoral rolls being revised and what are the issues, what are the constitutional backing of electoral rolls, etc., etc. First, okay. So what is the context here? Context here is the Election Commission of India has initiated a special intensive revision of the electoral rolls starting with Bihar in view of upcoming legislative elections of Assembly in November 2025 in Bihar. The last such revision in Bihar was held in 2003 and the current revision uses July 1, 2025 as the qualifying date for voter eligibility. Okay, because of this date and other things, this has become very contentious. Okay, first we will understand what is electoral rolls. Okay, so what is electoral rolls? As per Article 324 and Article 326 of the Indian Constitution and the Representation of People's Act of 1950, Election Commission is responsible for preparing as well as updating the electoral rolls. So at the moment, they are updating this electoral rolls. So what is electoral rolls? It is nothing but list of all the members or all the citizens who are eligible for voting. Only the list of eligible voters is considered as electoral rolls. Okay, then who are the eligible voters? Under the Constitution of India, the provision is that any citizen aged 18 and above is eligible for being the voter. Under the Constitution, it is only 18. It was initially 21. 61st Amendment Act changed it to from 21 to 18 years of age. Okay, and also the Constitution mandates that if he is of 18 years of age and he is not qualified by any of the laws, okay, any of the laws, then he is eligible for voting in the election. Okay, and any law as per this Constitution and the Government of India which implemented the law was Representation of People's Act. Under this act, there are certain eligibility, disqualifications and definition of term ordinary resident. This definition of ordinary resident has been contentious and as a result this is in news. So remember it, 18 and the ordinary resident is given in the Constitution and rest of the eligibility criteria, disqualification and term ordinary resident is defined under Representation of People's Act under section 16, 19 and 20. Okay, they are not defined in the Constitution. Very important. There can easily be a statement based question that eligibility criteria and disqualification for the electoral rolls are provided under the Constitution. Then that statement becomes wrong. Okay. So some of the eligibility and disqualification criteria is that he should not be of unsound mind, he should not be a criminal, he should not use illegal methods to obtain the electoral rolls, etc., etc., provided under this section. Then, why the special intensive revision is needed? So, special intensive revision as per the Election Commission is needed because there has been large scale migration and urbanization over the past 2 decades have led to duplications and outdated entities. The Election Commission is continuously obligated under Article 23, 26 and 324 to ensure only the citizens are enrolled. Okay. SIR will help remove the duplications and ineligible entities, ensure only genuine and eligible citizens are on the list. Why Bihar is chosen as the first? Bihar is chosen first because of the upcoming state elections and also because it was the last state to undergo special intensive revision in 2003. Okay, now key features of the 2025 special intensive revision in Bihar is that all the voters must submit an enumeration form to booth level officers. Okay, enumeration level certification, it should be submitted to booth level officers, only then their citizenry or their right to vote will be considered. Then those enrolled before January 2003 only need the old rolls as a proof. Okay, if you already have voter ID from the previous 2003, then it is enough. But if you don't have the voter ID, any new members who want to get voter ID, then they have to provide enumeration form. Those enrolled after January 2003 must also submit proof of date, place of birth for themselves and their parents. Okay, to consider them as an ordinary resident. And very important, and one of the key condition is Aadhaar is excluded as a valid document under the enumeration form. Okay, Aadhaar is not considered as a valid data or valid document here. Valid documents include caste certificates, family registers, and land records, etc., etc., except Aadhaar card. Very important. That is why it has become a key issue. So the idea behind Government of India or the Election Commission is that the Aadhaar card has been misused by many of the immigrants coming into India. Aadhaar card has been fake Aadhaar cards are in circulation in these days. So that is why Aadhaar card is excluded here. Then, so these are some photos of Bihar, people of Bihar. Then, what is the pros and cons of current SIR process? Why are certain people for it? Why are certain people against it? Arguments for is the 2003 SIR was done in just 31 days without the help of digital tools. Now, with the help of technology and large field staff with up to 6.5 lakh people, we can streamline the process in a much shorter time period. Aims to clean up the voter database ahead of the major elections. And Aadhaar card exclusion is consistent with the legal and constitutional provisions, because under the constitutional provisions, Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship. Okay. Then, what is the arguments against? Obviously, any kind of revision, census, etc. of these kind require huge physical, financial, and personal burden. So there will be huge burden. That is, 8 crore voters need to submit their forms. 3 crore may have to furnish birth documents for themselves and their parents. And this may lead to exclusion of the poor and the migrants who lack alternative documents. Okay, most of the people who are unaware of themselves and unaware of their parents' documents, etc., etc., they will be excluded in this practice. Okay, then migrant workers and students may miss deadlines or not be physically present to file the forms. What then? Okay, what about the migrant and workers as well as students? If they are not physically available, if they are not able to submit the documents on time, then they will be losing their vote rate. Okay, right to vote, sorry. Aadhaar is widely used and accepted in Form 6 under the registration of electoral rules, but now suddenly it has been excluded. The justification given by the government is that it is not constitutionally or legally valid document. Okay, so risk of disfranchising genuine voters, especially those who return home to vote but are now considered not ordinary resident. Okay, what happens here is many of the people belong to a particular state work in other state. For example, most of the people of Bihar come to southern India like Bangalore, Chennai, etc., to work there. If they are working there and they only go back to Bihar to vote during the elections, those kind of people, if they have passed more than 7 to 8 years in Bangalore, if they have passed more than 10 years in a particular state, they will be not considered as ordinary resident. So they will lose their right to vote in Bihar. So these are certain issues. So, and also there is a concerns regarding to migrant workers in particular. That is, EC's current approach may remove migrants from the roll if they are not physically present, despite Section 20 of Representation of People's Act protecting temporarily absent resident. Under this act, there is a provision for protecting temporarily absent residents, but in the reality, under this process, with the June 1, 2025 as the deadline, it is against this temporarily absent provision. Okay. Many migrants want to retain their voting rights in their native place. Want to retain their voting rights, but they are not able to because of this provision. Exercise. Remote voting was proposed in 2023, but is still under consultation and development. Okay. So It was the remote voting, meaning you can stay in one area and you can vote for your home state, etc., was proposed during the remote voting in 2023. But now with this process, they will not only lose the remote voting, they will also lose the right to vote in their home state. So we have to wait and see what will be the outcomes. So how do you address these issues? First is providing time frame flexibility. That is, EC should extend the deadlines if it is necessary and ensure no eligible voters is left out due to the procedural challenges. Document alternatives, that is, EC should re-evaluate document requirements during the claims and objection phase, especially for the underprivileged sections of the society. And also provide migrant protection, that is, avoid deleting genuine votes due to temporary migration, allow continuity of voting rights at their place of origin. And finally, with regard to use of Aadhaar, consider Aadhaar siding, already reinitiated in March 2025, to eliminate duplicates without making it a mandatory document for verification. Okay, so with this we can address the issue better. Okay, because right to vote is fundamental under the constitution, though it is not a fundamental right, it is fundamental in regard. So everyone should be provided with this right to vote. So conclusion is this: the SIR is an essential exercise to ensure electoral integrity, but must be carried out with careful safeguards. The risk of excluding genuine citizens, especially from marginalized or mobile populations, is significant and must be mitigated through flexibility, inclusiveness, and technology-driven solutions. So this is about Bihar electoral rolls and the issues and how to address the issue. Very important point, very important topic, especially from this year's mains perspective. Okay, so have an idea about this intensive revision program and what are its implications and other things. So by this I will end the video. Jai Hind.